Lewis, congratulations for the 7th title. I couldn't have done it better.
So lack it up, Lewis. This is what it's about. So great stuff, mate. We're going to see you up there.
Yeah, not bad for an old man. Get in there, Lewis.
So much unknown before we get underway. So what will be going through the drivers' minds as they get ready for the new season?
Sadly, it's time to say goodbye as free practice is over. However, we'll be back shortly for more Formula One action. And a warm welcome, everybody. We're here in the heart of Melbourne. It's Albert Park, and it's qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix.
you've got pole position.
Good job, guys.
Goodbye for now then, but really we're just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow. It's a new day, a new dawn, a new era for Formula One. This is the 2026 World Championship. New regulations, new cars, new fuels, new drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, let's ride. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 14 corners and 3.28 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles per hour. The close proximity of the barriers make accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Piastri, Leclerc, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, and Sainz, Hadjar, Albon, Lawson, and Lando Norris, Verstappen, Lindblad, Pierre Gasly, and Bottas, Hülkenberg, Bortoletto, Esteban Ocon, and Sergio Perez, Behrman, Colapinto, Stroll, and Fernando Alonso rounds off the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? Alongside me here in the commentary box today, former racing driver extraordinaire Naomi Schiff. As much as I like testing, and I do love testing, and I've really enjoyed the build-up here and all the speculation, I really want to see some action. And finally today, we get some proper action on the track.
This is always such an exciting time in the season. First of all, it's the first time they'll be racing their new cars. So that's always an exciting thing for drivers to look forward to. But also, they've had a long time off during the winter break. So it's about dusting the cobwebs off, getting the rust off of their bones, and really getting their elbows out there and having some fun.
Radio check, radio check.
Radio check.
Okay, mate, this is it. New regs, new modes, new opportunity. Let's go. Okay, so managing the engine's more important than ever. Your main way to recharge will be lifting and coasting, and you don't always need to go full throttle. Try some lift and coast before braking, then use boost on corner exit to get that extra energy deployment. That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done. Okay, George, we've got some clear track around us now, so let's use it and make this next lap a quick one. Let's go.
Yeah, happy. Okay, really good. You hit that target nicely. There's a long way to go in this race, so let's keep it clean. Okay, you have some front wing damage, but not enough to justify a stop in the remaining laps. Okay, you've just started the final lap of the race. Final lap. Oh, you worked hard for that one. Congratulations, well done.
Well done, guys. Brilliant result. Brilliant, brilliant.
I couldn't have done it better.
We've seen a brilliant display of the Russell hustle. It's George Russell who wins.
And to get a victory at the first race of the season, this might be a sign of things to come. One thing's for sure is that this performance will be giving the team and the driver relief and confidence going into the rest of the season.
It's what they've all been racing towards, waiting for them. High above the pit lane is our podium. And for the lucky three, it's time to stand on it. And taking his place on the top step of the podium, he gave it some hustle. Well done to George Russell. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon. It's fast and it's furious and it's sprint qualifying, slightly shorter than the Grand Prix format, but time to see who's going to be on pole for our sprint to come.
lap. We're all very, very pleased with that one. Nice work. Come on, I'll see you back in the pits.
All right, yeah, well done with all the process and adaptation today. It's been a unique day for everyone, but it's a good one.
And that's it for sprint qualifying. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend. So we'll see you all tomorrow. So it's all about speed in today's sprint. Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap, with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before we head into the braking zone of turn 14. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Antonelli, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Piastri, Verstappen, Sainz, Alonso, and Ollie Behrman, Ocon, Albon, Pierre Gasly, and Hadjar, Lawson, Lindblad, Sergio Perez, and Lance Stroll, Colapinto, Bortoletto, Hülkenberg, and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint. And alongside me today is a man who needs no introduction, but I'll try anyway. It's Ant Davidson. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. Now, we had great fun watching them win last time out. What a great victory it was. But can they carry that into today's race?
It's the important one, isn't it, Crofty? You've done it once, can you do it again? But, you know, if you start believing in yourself and the confidence starts to build, that inner confidence is what you need. And you can carry that through to future races, including this one, and you set that ball rolling. That's the critical thing that they're looking for here. And I believe if you've got that first race win or a win at any stage, it can start to roll with you in a good way.
Okay, mate, radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
don't currently have the data for that request. Okay, so with the new power units, make sure you're lifting and coasting before corners, and consider not always going full throttle. Try combining lift and coast into braking with boost out of corners and see if you can find a good balance. Good job, that was the fastest lap of the race so far. Yes, mate, I'll take that. Well done. We're really happy with the podium down here, so well done. Yes!
Well driven. Really, no
So that wraps up the sprint race, but there's still more action yet to come this weekend. We've got qualifying and, of course, the Grand Prix. Welcome along to Shanghai, ladies and gentlemen, where it's Chinese Grand Prix weekend. But before we can race, we need to qualify. And who's going to take that coveted pole position? How will our grid line up? We're about to find out. Welcome to qualifying.
Okay, good job, mate. Really, really well done. That was a fantastic drive. Bring it home.
I felt like I was 1 second off the pace.
The Chinese Grand Prix then is upon us once again. It's a race that saw Michael Schumacher claim his final Formula One victory in 2006, as well as Red Bull's first win with Sebastian Vettel in 2009. There's no doubt there's plenty more drama to come here in Shanghai. We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap, with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before we head into the braking zone of turn 14. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Piastri, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Antonelli, Sainz, Albon, Hadjar, and Ollie Behrman, Lindblad, Ocon, Liam Lawson, and Gasly, Alonso, Hülkenberg, Max Verstappen, and Gabriel Bortoleto, Perez, Colapinto, Stroll, and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And striding into our commentary box to join us today, the man, the myth, the legend, Anthony Davidson. As we all know, every single driver wants to know what's required of them. And in the case of this driver, I think things are pretty stable at the moment. That they're doing what the team require.
Well, that's the thing, as a driver, it's easy to feel like you're the individual. It's all about you. And, you want to further your career the best you can. But you have to have the team hat on as well and play the team game, work with your teammate as best you can. It's not an easy balance to figure out.
Radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. power units this year, you'll want to lift and coast more than you might have done before. And sometimes the fastest way around a track is not always going full throttle. Combine lift and coast into braking with boosting out of corners and see how you get on. That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done. Okay, George, we've got some clear track in front of us, and let's make the best of it. So please make this next one a very fast lap.
Yeah, that I agree.
Really good job on hitting that target, mate. Nice work. Still a long way to go, though. your final lap of the race.
And the best of British and the best on the track. It's George Russell who wins.
And that's 2 wins in a row now, of course, Crofty. And it marks the fact that it's not a fluke. So, you know, their head's in the right space. What more can we see going forwards?
And it's time for that special moment for our special 3 today. The podium awaits our top 3 finishers. By George, he was good today. The top step awaits for George Russell. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when...
Right, I'm afraid to say that we've had a major issue on the production line earlier this week, and the entire development package for the weekend has failed. Any redevelopments will need to be ordered from the R&D screen.
A warm welcome, everybody, from a venue that has seen plenty of sensational laps over the years. Remember, Verstappen in 23, Vettel in 2019, some phenomenal pole laps. But whose will it be today?
Fantastic, you've got pole position.
Not too shabby.
With qualifying complete, all that remains now is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then. Suzuka in the springtime where the cherry blossom is in full bloom. But who's blooming out on our track and who's flourishing on this wonderful day at this magnificent track? Welcome along to Suzuka and the Japanese Grand Prix. We're southwest of the city of Nagoya today at a wet and windy Suzuka circuit. 3.6 miles and 18 corners make up a lap here, with Sector 1 likely to prove especially difficult in these conditions. We should see overtaking into turns 1 and 16 today, and maybe a few Kobayashi-style dives into the hairpin as well. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Antonelli, Norris, Max Verstappen and Sainz, Hamilton, Piastri, Albon and Isaac Hadjar, Gasly, Lawson, Fernando Alonso and Bottas, Perez, Lindblad, Ollie Behrman and Nico Hülkenberg, Ocon, Stroll, Bortoletto and Franco Colapinto rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And alongside me in the commentary box today, a man who I always look up to, which is easier said than done, Anthony Davidson. As we all know, every single driver wants to know what's required of them. And in the case of this driver, I think things are pretty stable at the moment. They're doing what the team require.
Well, that's the thing, as a driver, it's easy to feel like you're the individual. It's all about you. And, you want to further your career the best you can. But you have to have the team hat on as well and play the team game, work with your teammate as best you can. It's not an easy balance to figure out.
Okay, radio check, radio check.
Radio check.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Okay, George. Right, we've got some clear track in front of us, so let's make best use of it and make the next lap a quick one. You got this.
Yeah, happy.
Great stuff, mate. You hit the target well there. Nice one. There's a long way to go in this race, though, so keep your head down. Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
It's not over until it's over. Okay, great job.
Fantastic drive with the slicks, fantastic. It's really awesome to be a witness of that.
Here's the checkered flag. Here's our winner. By George, he's done it. Russell wins.
And they're just starting to make it look easy out there. Now a hat-trick of wins. They're out there ahead. They've got the momentum on their side. And it's for the others now to try and up their game to stop that energy that they have.
And once all the hard work is over, and after lap of brilliant racing, it's time now to celebrate with our podium trio. And taking his place on the top step of the podium, he gave it some hustle. Well done to George Russell. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Been scouring the socials and asking around, and I'm delighted to say that the team are none the wiser about us chatting with anyone else. And the meeting went well, too. I know. I'm amazing. You're welcome. Your specialists are a team of experts that will be working with us part-time to maximize your research and development within the team. They will offer you goals to complete. Completing these goals will increase your... You can see each specialist type. Selecting a Welcome to your contract. To start, in order to develop upgrade